Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a minute. I did not chart publicly like I normally do on Sundays. I did not do trade recap for last week. I've just been all over the place. Last weekend was very, very busy. We had family beach day. Then it was Easter, and we were just out having a good time. And by the time I got home on Sunday, I didn't feel like getting on the camera. I'm gonna be honest. I did chart because that's just part of my routine. It's my life. I chart every Sunday and I just keep my routine no matter what. When it comes to that, I did chart. I didn't take any trade this week. The market was absolutely disgusting. Nothing did it for me. So this week I didn't take any trades. I looked at what I charted. Nothing was making any sense. And I did go ahead and chart gold. So I've been here and there charting gold, just like charting it and forward testing it to see if like the way that I see the market, does it work well with gold? And I feel like it does. I just have to be very strategic. So I did chart and I'm going to share it, share what I did with gold. If I would have took the trade, I would have lost because my stop loss was tighter than need be. I've been watching gold and I do see that it does do deep retracements. So I normally trade Forex pairs. And with Forex, sometimes when I'm seeing like price go against me or the retracement, I put a Fibonacci tool and I can see where price is just going to respect that fib level and continue. With gold, I noticed that it doesn't really respect fib levels. Maybe at least for me, maybe the way that I see the market, maybe on a shorter time frame, maybe it does. Like, I don't know. But for me, I do see that it kind of like disrespects the level, comes back to retouch that initial breakout, and then it goes again. I have noticed that. So that's why I'm watching it. I'm going to continue to chart it and forward test, not take any trades until I see, consistency with that. Just because like the Forex pairs are kind of like, they're all over the place one week and then there's like no volatility the next and there's too much. Like there's a lot of things going on and it's been crazy. So, this is just part of the game. The market goes through like cycles and we as traders always need to adjust to what's going on. And no, you don't have to look for anything new, but you just have to learn to sit on your hands and be patient and disciplined. And that takes a really long time to achieve. I still have a lot of issues achieving that. I'm gonna share my charts. Let's look at this side because I was looking at a trade that I really wanted to take and it was just bouncing back and forth. And it looks like it might be ready for next week. So let's go ahead and share that and then we'll continue chatting here. Okay. So this is what I was looking at this week. Just a few pairs, just 5 pairs here. GBP CAD looked like it was going to give me an entry, which it did, but I didn't take it because this happened later on between Thursday and Friday, so I'm not interested in that. So I do see, let me see if you guys can really see good. What time frame are we on? Let's go to the 4 hour. Okay. So there we go. Okay, perfect. So it did give an entry. I didn't take it because it was towards the end of the week, and I was like, I'm not going to take a trade at the end of the week if I have not taken a trade all week. It's just gonna mess me up to possibly lose or be stuck in a trade over the weekend because I decided to take this trade. So that was our GBP CAD. You can see that this blue area here is my daily area of interest. Price did break out, come back in, and is breaking out again. We can see that on the 4 hour. It broke out on the 4 hour. We have a nice retracement. It's respecting the Fibonacci level that I did set here, the fib level. And it's also respecting the 50 EMA. So it looks like it's going to be doing its move next week. What is next week? So next week is the last week of the month. And you know what I noticed? That last week of the month doesn't do well for me. So I'm going to be very cautious moving into next week and seeing how I close this month. This month honestly hasn't been the best. It's been a lot of like, I had break even week last week where I took a great trade and then I took a second trade. I didn't go full risk on it, but I did lose. I did take a win already on GBP CAD last week, and then I lost on USD CAD. I had that, and then the week prior, I think I won, and then before that, I had like a losing week. So this month, I have to go over my stats, but this month, I feel like we're gonna close like a break even month, and that's fine. That's completely fine. This is what happens. We had a great streak on February and March, and we were just due for something like this. So my goal is always to end in green, never in red. So hopefully, at least it will be a break even month. So if we take a trade at the beginning of the week and it hits, I think we'll be good. I think we should be fine. But I just have to go over my stats and stuff. And even that, I've been off this week. I haven't even gone on Trade Zella to put in my notes and I go over my playbook. And because I know I've been off my game, like mentally. I've just been busy with things that are coming up for me, that I just haven't really been paying too much attention to this. So I'm glad that I wasn't too on it, because I might have taken a trade that I shouldn't have if I would have been on the charts like that. So that's GBP CAD. That was what I was interested in. I think nothing else did what I was expecting. Like, I'm waiting for AutoCAD to come all the way up here. Has not done that yet. To go back into this daily area of interest, that's the purple area. USD same thing. NZD it's back in the area, so we need for it to come back out, right? If it comes up here and disrespects this daily area of interest, we have to wait for a shift of structure, and we can take it back up, right? We would have to wait for something like that to happen, so we can see like the shift of structure, and we'll be interested in buys instead of sells. NZD I don't know what I was expecting here. I don't know what this is. I guess I was just waiting on just some sort of retracement, but that never happened. But yeah, that was like all I charted. GBP CAD was the only thing that looked good. It looks like it might do its move next week. I really like how price is holding up and creating this support level. So I'm fine with that. So hopefully I will come back on Sunday and we'll do our regular scheduled charting, and we can go more in depth into like erase everything and rechart and see what we are expecting for next week, and we'll go over like the rest of the pairs. Let me go over to gold. Okay, so gold, since I don't trade this, gold is, I keep it in a little watch list, so I'm not even tempted with it. So let's look at it. So I have my daily zone, right, from the last high to the last low, right? That's this purple right here. And you can see this is like previous charting. I'm trying not to erase it just so we can keep track of it. I'm gonna start that now. And then if we go to the 4 hour, you can see that price came back to retest. So here's where we're at. Let's go to the 1 hour so you guys can really see. Right, so this is what I was expecting, the breakout and come back to retest, and this would be an entry, right? So I placed my tool and I was just like kind of waiting for things to happen. And I expected the tool here, but I didn't really put a take profit, but I was waiting for something to come all the way down here, and I still think that might happen. Let's see how price moves next week. We'll go ahead and forward test it for next week. But if you can see, if I would have taken this trade, I would have been wigged out by this little tiny area right here. I hope you guys can see that. It's really small. Little area. Let me make a little box so you guys can see it. This little thing right here would have wigged this out right there. So I have this. This is something I have to study more about, like where I place my. I put it like right over structure. Maybe I should have done it like parallel to the EMA. But this is something I'm going to study more, and I will not. Let's put it back so I can just see for the future references how I got stopped out. Okay, and this is just something I'm going to study more. And once I get more consistency on it, this is something that I'm going to add into our regular watch list, because we can definitely have great risk to reward on gold if we take any trades. Price looks like it's creating some sort of head and shoulders pattern here. So let's see what's going to happen with that. But overall, yeah. So if I were taking this trade, I would have lost, but then it went back to profit, and now it's at break even. So we're still going to follow this out into the next week and see what happens with gold. So this is something sometimes seeing other traders like trade gold and trade like the indices, that's very enticing. Like you want to go ahead and try something different. Forex does move slower, and these pairs seem to give like more entry opportunities and things. But if it's not something you don't have to touch it. There are people that are completely successful not touching any of this. Like I said, I don't normally trade gold and I make my profits. So I'm adding this to the playbook, but I'm going to be very strategic on how I add it. And I don't want to trade this because everybody else trades this and I think I'm going to make money. Everybody trades they all look at the market with like similar perspective, but they're like, it's all like a maybe different entry criteria. And I have to make sure that the way that I trade and how I'm used to coming to the markets, what my approach is, translate to gold, right? And if it does not, we're gonna leave it alone. I've left it alone before. I've tried it with different, like when I was starting out, like different strategies and things. Back when I was a scalper, and scalping gold was great, but it also gave me a lot of losses and it frustrated me. Just because I do see those deep retracements that I've caught on to that, and you have to be very strategic with gold. There's a pair on my watch list is AUD USD, which is like a really popular pair. People would call it like a beginner pair. And I do not trade AUD USD. I can't figure it out. Every time I trade it, I lose. I don't know why. It just never does what I want it to do. And gold does the same thing. So this is something I'm gonna have to be careful. Maybe it's a mental thing. Maybe I just know that in my brain. So like, I kind of don't touch it. But we're gonna open up our minds and we're gonna do some studying and take a proper documentation. I should make a Notion. I have a Notion, but I should make a Notion page for gold and start putting in data for that. Just to highlight, because my normal trades, they go onto TradeZella, but for this, since I'm not taking trades on it, I should just go to Notion and just kind of like write out notes and have some sort of data. I love to collect data. Data is great. I guess just because like my regular 9 to 5, I audit a lot of data, healthcare data. So I'm just like, we need stats, we need numbers, we need to see patterns, and data can only be as good as what you put into it, right? So if we're not really tracking and putting in notes and like writing down times and sessions and all the things, emotions, we're not really benefiting. So besides just like leaving what I chart up, I do want to start taking notes on that, and I'll share that with you guys. So I just want to just chat. So no trades this week. Honestly, that takes, let me just flip over this camera. Honestly, it takes a lot of discipline. Like, I love being in trades, and when I'm not in a trade, I feel like I'm not doing something. Like, I'm not working, I'm not like being productive. I feel like, am I just coming home and just watching TV? Like, I feel like I'm not doing what I need to do when I'm not in a trade. But that is honestly sometimes the best position to be in. You're not winning, you're not losing, but you're kind of staying the same. You're not like messing up and maybe possibly taking a trade that could be detrimental to your account. So that's just that. That's just a thought. I will talk, like, sometimes we want to be like all the time trading and we want to feel productive. Like, we want to make sure that we're charting and back testing and putting alerts for testing and executing, right? And sometimes we're not in the best space. Sometimes we're very, very busy, and it's okay. Like, we can skip a week and, we don't have to be like so on it and just get into a trade just because you're not in one, or just like do things that just don't really align with how you're feeling at that point in time. There's a lot of like mental stress that comes with trading, and I think you do have to have a clear mind. Now, let's talk a little bit about like trading psychology. So like, trading psychology is like a very, very big thing, but I do think traders like use it as a crutch. I'm like, oh, my psychology is messed up. But how good is my skill? How good am I reading the chart? Like, if your trading will only be as good as your setup is, how patient you are, how you can read candles, how you can recognize market structure and price action. So all those things are very, very important. And sometimes we put a crutch on trading psychology. We're like, oh, it was just like, I need to get my mental right. I need to get my mental right. But we need to get to a point where no matter what's going on, we can just come and execute like robots, right? Just the same way you come and do your job, whatever it is, you're a cashier, you wash cars, you do surgery on people, whatever it is that your job is, you just do it automatically, no matter what's going on at home. No matter what's going on, you do it. So that's where we need to get. That's where we need to get to, where we just come and execute. But until we're not there, this is something that we need to just like take a step back. Sometimes it's like difficult because you're like, oh, all these moves are happening. I'm missing out on money. People are on the lower time frames. They're making money. They're scalping, and that's just not for you. It's just not meant for you. Like the market is always gonna set up again and give you new opportunities. So that's just something to think about. Like, be patient. This takes time. Like, there's not one single trade that's gonna make you rich. It's like over time, and consistency and discipline is going to get you where you want to go. And just putting those small wins into a bucket until you reach your goals, right? So it's just because you missed a trade and maybe you're in a community and you're seeing people's profits and things like that is stressing you out or making you feel sad, like maybe you don't know what you're doing, you want to change up. Don't change up anything, just continue to do what you're doing. And if some things you're just too busy, like sometimes you just need to sit in silence and take some time for yourself. Sometimes you just need to enjoy time with family. Like last weekend I had a great time with my family. Like we really needed to go on a beach day. We had Easter, we did the egg hunt. I was able to hang out with my best friend. Sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes just that doesn't happen. So when you're able to do those things, just take advantage of that, because this is gonna happen for you, and it can wait. Like there's just because you didn't chart on Sunday, you can chart on Monday. You know, sometimes a lot of the times Sundays nothing's really setting up for you. You can come back and chart on Monday. Or you don't have to take a trade. If things just don't look good, you don't see the volatility, just like leave it alone, because you're gonna get into something that can suck. So I'm glad that this week played out like this. It was fine. I was able to enjoy myself. I was able to relax and not really worry too much about what's going on with the charts. I did chart gold, and I got to see certain things with it, and I'm just studying and taking my time. So that's all I wanted to talk about. You guys, I am trying to build a community. I really would love for you guys to join. I just want to have trading friends, and I want to help someone make extra money, honestly. In my community, I do not want people to talk about money. I just want you to share your charts and what you're going through, what your analysis is. And like I can help, I can give you feedback. We can chart together. We can do one-on-one calls, whatever you need to like become profitable. You know, I'm willing to hold your hand and be with you every step of the way. I think it's very, very important. Sometimes we like these big mentors and like these gurus, but they don't have time to get on a call with you guys. I had a big mentor, and when we were on calls with them, it was like over 100 people on the call, and we're all trying to ask questions, and it got very messy, and it got to a point where we're not even talking about trading. Sometimes there would be calls scheduled, and you're like, at any time, like even in the middle of the night, there'll be calls scheduled, and you're like waking up to get on this call, and then it just like reschedules. So you don't need that. And I think I can be an asset to helping you guys out and whatever. Just if you're interested, if you have any suggestions, I do have the link in the description. We can talk about it, ask me about it. If it's too much, if it's priced too much, please tell me and we can figure it out. Okay, I want everybody to be able to join if they're interested. I really, really am looking to be that person for you that will hold your hand and will help you get to your goals. I'm not interested in making any money from it. I really, really want to be that person that I didn't have for myself. All right, so with that being said, I love you all. Stay safe. I will be back on Sunday, I promise. And we're gonna chart together. I did chart last time. I charted live, and I played back the video a little bit, and I saw that it was lagging. I don't know if it looks like that on your guys' end, but I don't think that's something we can do because I really want you guys to understand me and be able to keep up with the video. So I think I'm just gonna like chart and upload it like normal. Well, yeah, love you all. Stay safe. Bye bye.